So this is pretty much the first dry weather we've had since the big storm Kristin ripped through a few days ago. It is Monday today, and the storm hit a few days ago on Thursday morning. And we've mostly recovered from all of the damage that we sustained, and we've been helping out our neighbours and local community as well. But we thought we'd just come on quickly to give you a bit of an update, show you around, show you some of the things that have happened, and also some of the things that we've managed to repair as well. And just to provide an update to say that we are safe and sound and happy and well, and as are all the cats and chickens, so that's good. So let's go for a bit of a walk around. We'll talk about what happened and what we've done since.
So one of the obvious things that is missing here are our solar panels.
Yeah.
We had 12 panels all mounted along here. They all got blown over. And some people have mentioned if they were on ground mounts, wouldn't they have survived? And the big answer is no. Like, we went for a drive and there were solar panels off roofs, off structures. The ground is so soft that anything that was connected into the ground just got pulled out, like massive trees. The mounts that the solar panels are actually on are just a really flimsy aluminium. They just got bent and buckled and screws ripped out of framing and all kinds of things. The winds were ferocious. So we have a friend who's not far away, clocked 140 kilometers an hour, which I think is around about 100 miles an hour-ish. I might be off there.
A bit less than that.
And then there have been records around the country of all the way up to 208 kilometers an hour. So hurricane-style winds, not just storm winds. Thankfully, we have tested all of our solar panels, including 2 that have got massive cracks in the glass, and they are all fine, which is completely unbelievable to us. The mounts are not fine. We've had to MacGyver a couple together to get a couple of panels back up and running, but we'll have to do a little bit more of that when we get some more good weather. This is the first day in many days that it's been safe to be out here working. Cats also burning off their excess energy because they have been cooped up for days. So yeah, it's quite surprising that the panels actually survived. And in the future, they won't be on the ground like they have been. They will be on a structure. But now we also know we need to make the frame and the connections really bulletproof. Loads of people also had entire sandwich panels ripped off their roofs, and we're going to have sandwich panel on the building where we're going to mount the panel. So we need to now come up with some way of making sure the sandwich panels are totally secure and then the panels on those are totally secure, given that the mounts that are provided are so flimsy.
So when we were looking at getting our panels back up and running, I did a bit of research online to see if we needed to go and buy some more mounting hardware. And I was looking through all the technical documentation, and they're all rated for up to 150 kilometer-hour winds, but we definitely surpassed that in the local area or in some parts of the local area. So even if we had them on a structure, there's still a good chance that they would have flown off. We've even seen some of these big solar trackers. So it's like a big array of panels on a huge arm that moves around and follows the sun. We've seen some of those completely bent over. We've seen panels removed or ripped off of those with some remaining. But yeah, the devastation in the area has been crazy. And actually we got off pretty lightly. The panels are all still working. We lost a few roof tiles, but those have now been replaced. And so, yeah, we were really lucky in the big scheme of things.
So in the interim, we do have 4 panels that we've managed to get connected again, so we can quickly show you those. And then we're going to go over to the house and show you what happened to the roof.
So we managed to salvage 2 of the original 3 frames and mounts of panels. So we've got these up here. This is just 1.6 kilowatts of potential solar, but we haven't got a lot of sun at the moment anyway. So this is better than nothing. But yeah, we just wanted to make sure that we could get something up and running, because otherwise we are solely reliant on generator power at the moment. As are most people in the area, but there's still no power in the village. The nearest big village does have some power. They're running big generators to inject a little bit of power into the grid. Some of the street lights have started to come back on in the evenings, but there's also no mobile data networks either. So most people are without power, some people are without water, most people are without mobile or data, and yeah, it's been tough for everyone.
I'm going to show you how some of the mounting broke. This is a back brace that goes onto here, and these bolts have just sheared completely out of this on all of the frames. And then, see,
I mean, oh yeah, look at this one here. It's just bent
this
completely.
one just completely trashed. What hasn't broken are the clips that hold the panel to the railings. So as long as we can MacGyver the railings, then we can still use these clips. But these we're going to have to replace. And even on the back of the panels that we put up, we actually had to put some timber supports in.
So it was about 5 o'clock in the morning when the worst part of the storm hit. And we were already awake because we could hear the wind howling around the building. And we couldn't actually hear much else because of the noise of the wind. We got up, we still had power, so we were able to make a coffee and kind of sit and chat with the lights on. But then shortly after that, we heard a pretty horrible sound of tiles from the roof hitting the road on the other side of where we were sitting in bed. But it was pitch black, so we couldn't really see anything. All of the street lights were out because a lot of the power network had been taken out by the storm. And so we just kind of waited it out inside until things calmed down. And then when the light came up first thing in the morning, we came out to have a look at the damage. And one of the first things we saw was the big orange tree that had fallen over right in front of the house. Fortunately, it hadn't hit the house in any way. It had just been ripped out of the ground. And there's been so much rain recently that the ground was so soft that the wind just pushed the tree over. And we've got a few other big trees that we can go and show you a bit later on to show you just the scale of some of that's happened just on our property. So the panels was one thing, the trees was another, but of course the big one was the damage to the roof.
So we were quite lucky the day of the storm, so that the damage was all done in the morning, but we had mostly a dry, very overcast, just a little bit of rain day, so we could get out and do a lot of assessment. So we were able to build the scaffolding tower, and we jumped up there and were able to reposition some of the tiles that were out of place. But it was way too steep and way too wet still to actually climb up onto the roof. But thankfully, and we thank our lucky stars for this, one of our neighbours is, I don't know if he's a roofing contractor, but he's always jumping up on roofs. And we asked him, could you go up and have a look at our roof? And not only did he go up and have a look at our roof, he fixed it all for us. So we jumped up there, took out all the broken tiles. There was about 10 of the flat ones, which I think were mostly damaged when like the finials and the other tiles came smashing down. And thankfully, no damage to the Velux. And then he put up, I think it was 8 ridge tiles needed to be replaced. They had just completely ripped off. There were screws that the whole heads had been sheared off. Yeah, it was very scary that night, but we are so thankful that just within a couple of days, our roof is back to being watertight. The flashing around the chimney, it also been bent up so much. He got up there and fixed that for us as well. The community around here has been amazing. Everyone has been helping everyone. One of our other neighbours, they had a chimney that just completely fell off.
Like a brick and concrete chimney?
Yeah, like one of these big ones. Same like the one that we had. And the same guy came around and fixed all of their roof with a load of our tiles. And then another neighbour and another like all of the neighbours. We got up in the morning when we were looking at our damage and we just did a 360 around the village. Every single roof had tiles off or panels off, big holes in roofs. And it's amazing. They've all been fixed, even if it's just temporary. There's one, I think, still that hasn't been finished. And I think it's because the tile place is out of their tiles. Like the first day, you couldn't buy a tile for crazy amounts of money if you wanted to. But they came in stock just a couple of days ago and everyone's now got their roofs repaired. But we've given away, I don't know, a couple of hundred of our tiles.
Yeah, at least a couple of hundred.
One of our club members actually came because they have a really difficult tile to source. And thankfully our outbuildings have the same tile that they needed. So we just pulled off some of the tiles on our outbuildings so that they could take them away and fix their roof. It has been an amazing amount of community spirit and everyone piling together. And we have had to practice our Portuguese more than we probably ever have.
So in addition to giving away a whole load of roof tiles, we have a second backup generator. I guess it's the backup for the backup, which we've been able to lend to a friend. And because of the solar setup that we have, we've never lost power. And because we have Starlink satellite internet, we've never lost internet either. And so we've been having people come over to the house, neighbours coming over to charge their phones and to get online so that they can contact their friends and family in other parts of the country to let them know that they're safe. We also have a portable power bank, an EcoFlow, that we've lent to some of the neighbours so that they can have some lights on in the evening and charge their phones. So we've had a lot of help from the neighbours, like with the roof getting fixed, but we've been able to help them out a little bit as well, which has been great.
All right, so that's the roof. It's been fixed. We still have some guttering downpipes to fix, but we'll get to that when we have some more dry weather. The other thing that has happened is we've lost some really big trees. Obviously this one, which is kind of quintessential to all the images that we have of the house, where we have the two trees framing the house, it has lost its taproot. So we're not too sure that this can actually be recovered, and the ground is so wet at the moment. Can't get a tractor in to push it up, can't really do anything. So we think we're going to lose this one, but there is at least one other that we can save that's fallen over, and then another couple of huge ones that unfortunately we're going to lose as well. Oh, it's so wet. So this tangerine's in the chicken yard. We think we can save it, but we need to wait again till slightly better weather. But I don't think there's too much disruption to the roots. And we really want to save this one because it's a great canopy for the chickens in the summertime. They'll hide under there and scratch around. So we're going to have to get some tractor help with that one. Okay, let's show you the real disaster though.
Well, let's go to the well first.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, you can barely see what's going on here because it's such a mess.
Yeah. So this is was a massive apple tree. So it's actually a part of the cork tree here has fallen over. This guy has just been completely ripped out of the ground and fallen across our well. Thankfully hasn't damaged any more of the wall to the well. But all of its roots are snapped, so we'll get some help probably to cut this one out of here. And then follow me for another one.
Two more.
Two more, yeah. So this was a really old and really tall pear tree. It wasn't in the best condition and we were going to take it down at some point. So Mother Nature has helped us with regard to that. But this one is the one I'm most upset about. This is a huge chestnut tree that again was such a brilliant canopy for the chickens and everything. And this one we can't save either. We will save as much of the timber as we can for, I don't know, making spoons out of, or just making small woodworking things out of.
Could probably make 1 million coasters.
There's lots of decent sized branches and obviously a huge trunk. We just need to find out how we mill it and how we get it out of here. It has also damaged our back fence. There's a couple of concrete posts that have been knocked over. It's the same around the well, actually. A couple of the concrete posts have collapsed. Compared to some of the surrounding area where massive cork trees have come down over power lines, pine trees that have just snapped, we've been very, very lucky. Oh, I'm noticing this fig tree has had all its top branches also. We've got a bit of cleanup to do, but we're going to wait until the weather's a bit better.
So fortunately, none of the olive trees behind us have had any damage, which is good. In fact, we've got olives all around the property and none of them have been affected. But there's just quite a lot of cleanup to do, but we will get to it in due course.
So I think the rain is about to come down on us, so we're going to wrap this up really quickly. But did just want to say, we are on the forecast for the next 2 weeks is a crazy amount of rain, like annual rainfall in a week type of rain. We've already got flooding in the field next to us and on the road. But what it means for us is it's really hampering the work that we can do on a couple of our projects. We have no dry area to mix plaster or cut any timber. We do all of that outside and on the deck, and we can't do that when it's peeing down with rain. So we are going to be limited on getting work done for videos, but we do have some plans that we need to readjust now that the weather has had its... just can't explain how crazy this weather is. But we will come out with a plans video. There's been some questions also recently, actually late last year, about, you know, can we have a walk around of the property inside the house to basically show where we're at, what's left, what we haven't done, what needs doing. So we'll do some videos like that where we can. But one other thing that I think is a really unexpected result of this weather, and we were talking with some friends about it yesterday, is the way that your brain goes into survival mode. I've never been through anything like this. And our brains are just mush. We are so in either fight or flight mode at the moment. And with all the weather systems coming in, like there was a storm overnight, we had to come back out and check everything. It's making it really difficult to want to do work and to just concentrate enough even to do a video like this. And I really feel for some of the other people out there who are in a much worse position with us. I can't even imagine how they're feeling. People who've lost their entire homes.
People who were living in tents and yurts.
Oh my God.
Flattened.
The devastation is just unreal. And I use the word storm, but it's just so much more than a storm. You know, entire houses flattened and roofs flown off, and it's a really difficult time for a lot of people. And without power and without internet to check on what's happening either to other loved ones or just to the weather, it's really taking a bit of a toll on us, even though we're not that affected. So please bear with us. We will get videos out to you as soon as we can. But we are struggling with being able to do some work because of the situation.
So there you go. That is the update from our side. And of course, if you have any questions or anything like that, stick them down below and we will do our best to answer them. If anyone needs any tiles, let us know. We might be able to help you out from that side of things. But yeah, otherwise, stay tuned for future episodes, which will be coming to you as soon as possible, as soon as we can get some videos made and
Here comes the rain.
and get some work done. But the rain has started to fall, so we'll see you later. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.